Another big goal is to show them how these strategies just don't work in an English class. They will also help them to be better readers of science and better readers of social studies and better readers of math and art and music. And that what's nice about these thinking strategies is that they really help kids understand all different types of text if they know what they are and they know how to apply them. I'm going to give you a really short piece of text today that we're going to experiment with. Now, this piece of text, I'm going to tell you right now, is really hard. The only way you cannot get full credit with this assignment is if you don't try, okay? All you have to do to get credit is to try what I'm going to ask you to do. This is a piece of text that I got from the auto mechanics book. I'm struggling with this. We've been highlighting things that we don't get. I'm going to tell you something right now. You could highlight this whole paragraph. So we're not going to do that job. I want you to highlight places that you think you get. Places that, now wait a second, places that you think you understand. You probably won't have the whole thing highlighted. If you highlight something, you're going to tell me what you think it means. Okay?
To highlight the sentence that I get.
Okay.
What is that? Okay, exactly.
Oh, okay, well, highlight that. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Oh my God. Do you know what this is?
70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, do you know what 70 degrees Fahrenheit is?
Something how cold it is.
Yeah, it's temperature. All right. Okay, but highlight the title.
No.
No.
We can.
We could if we really wanted to.
Why? What do you mean? Why didn't you then? Do you have a little doubt about that?
No.
Do you know what induction icing is?
Induction icing? No. I don't, sorry.
See, when I first read this, do you know what it is? Okay, I don't either, and somebody's actually even explained it to me. I'm thinking this is like frosting on a cake.
Oh, okay. That does not work for me.
Where am I getting that? Jung Ao's looking at me like I'm crazy. Where am I getting that?
Where am I? The icing part, like when you ice a cake.
Yeah, that's my background knowledge. I'm also thinking, because as I read on, I realized it had nothing to do with the cake. I'm thinking icing, like on my windshield. Could be something like, ice that forms on things. Frost type stuff. Okay. All right, keep going. Somebody give me something else that they've marked. Okay, Scott, go ahead.
I understood the refrigeration effect because I know what a refrigerator does.
Oh, good. Okay. So what is the refrigeration effect?
It keeps something cold over a period of time, probably.
Good job. Okay. Does anybody know? Does anybody do fuel injection? Are all cars fuel injected nowadays? Like most new cars are, aren't they? RJ, do you know anything about fuel injection? I don't either. Who in here knows something? Mike, tell.
When you start the car, you don't push down on the pedal. It just like kind of starts.
You don't have to start on the pedal for my car. If I just turn the thing, it'll start. How does that work then? I thought you had to get gas in there.
Or I think it does it like automatically or something.
Okay. See, I don't know a lot about cars. Just like you might not know a lot about the French Indian War. Do you know how I know I'm stuck? There's some signals. There's some things telling me. First of all, I have no picture in my head. I'm picturing these words right here. I have no picture in my head. I'm not visualizing a car. I'm not visualizing an engine. I'm not I sort of, when the refrigeration effect comes on, I visualize my kitchen fridge. And then the picture shuts off. Sandwich, what do you think you get? What do you think you get?
Those are just part of Fast and Furious where they're like revving up their engine and some little gaskets open up and that's where you see that gas flow through it.
Joel, did you just see what he did? You couldn't see his face. You guys have seen a lot of movies and a lot of television in your life and a lot of videos. You have a lot of images stored. Thinking about that movie helped you to get a picture in your head. When we get a picture in our head, we tend to be more interested in the reading. We tend to be able to remember it better. We tend to be able to make connections and ask questions. See, I don't like this piece. It's boring. It's stupid. I don't know anything about it. So I can read the words beautifully, but I don't remember anything about it. Now, you just gave me something to remember. I'm thinking about gasoline involved in there. Gasoline, I'm thinking about the air, and I'm wondering if the air gets too cold and it hits that gasoline, does it cause the car to stall? So we're looking at signals. How do we know when the text is making sense? How do we know when it's not making sense? And when it's not making sense, what do we do? Okay, here goes. Carburetor icing. I'm going to try to read this with my best expression. All right, are you ready, Hannah? Okay, here goes. Carburetor icing is one of the facets of induction system icing. The effects of fuel on fuel-injected engines will be discussed later. Oh, so it doesn't have anything to do with fuel injection. Okay. It is most commonly caused by refrigeration effects inside the carburetor coupled with appropriate atmospheric conditions. The refrigeration effect comes from a combination of lowered air pressure inside the carburetor throat and the vaporization of fuel, which drops the temperature of both the air flowing through the carburetor and the carburetor itself. The drop can be as much as 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, did I read that well? Don't you think I sounded good if I read that? Yeah. Okay. Here's the bad news. I have no idea
What you just read.
what I just read. My question to you, Tequila, why would I have you read this piece? Any guesses why I'm having you read this piece today? Stupid, boring car piece, who cares about it? What might my purpose be? I don't really care if you know about cars. No. What I'm trying to do, you guys, is simulate a classroom. Guys, eyes up here. Zach, eyes up here. What I'm trying to simulate is a classroom where you get a piece of reading that you think is stupid and boring and you don't want to read. But what I'm going to try to show you is how do you play the game? How do you get through that piece of text? I'm trying to teach you a little plan, a little strategy. We got to figure out what we get, what we don't get. Remember that boy I told you about? His name's Dan. Remember Dan said it was my job to make sure he got it? No matter how good the teacher is, the teacher can't do that. You are in charge of your reading. You're the only one. So what we got to do is we got to back up and we got to figure out when our meaning breaks down. Because you can't help yourself if you don't know you're doing something wrong.